everyone, it's Caitlin with Kait's Collectibles, and today I'm reviewing the Sailor Saturn figure art. So Saturn came out a while ago. I just haven't gotten around to reviewing her because I didn't have her in hand. I do now, and this is actually the first time I'm taking her completely out of the packaging. For space reasons, I didn't have it before, but I'm moving some things around, so we're going to take a better look at her here. Now this is the S version of Saturn. So this is how she appears in the third season of Sailor Moon S. As you can see, her box detail is pretty on par with the others. Purple is kind of her primary color, so they've got this really nice purple coloring here with some sort of a pinkish highlight. And down here, we've also got her sticker that indicates this is an authentic product, so it's not a knockoff. Because she came from a North American site, I have the choking hazard warning sticker tacked onto her plastic there. Now her box did come to me a little bit banged up and squished. So hopefully all the pieces inside are good. On the side here we've got her in a different pose. You can see some of that puckering of the box. I'll go to the other side. There she is there. Yet another pose. Top. So we've got a good shot of her there with her silhouette and sort of a sparkly purple. And the back of her box here, so you can see some different poses for her, the same sort of rainbow font that they've used in the past, some of the different faces, lots of different options basically for the Saturn figure art. I do like that this pose they've got with her staff here in this left side, they sort of got her symbol behind her. I like that they did that there. Saturn's a character that seems to have kind of a cult following, I guess. She doesn't appear as Saturn all that much in the course of really all of Sailor Moon. She has a very, very brief appearance as Saturn in S. And then she's basically in not back as Saturn until Stars, if you're in the anime version anyway. So just kind of an interesting note for her. So we're going to open her packaging up here and take a look at what we've actually got included. Because the box is a little banged up, she's a little stiff in here. So behind her background cardboard, looks like we've got sort of the usual guide that they provide you. So details about how to attach her face plates and hair, the hands for holding her staff, the stand itself and how to use it, and a listing of the number of hands that are included. Now hopefully separating this plastic, so on the back here we've got the base of her stand and the arm, it looks like taped in. It's interesting that they seem to change up how they decide to package those from character to character. I find that despite it being noisy, if you kind of gently work your way around those plastic toppers, you have less of a chance of shooting all the pieces out at yourself. So we've got Saturn. She's got some extra plastic wrapped around her, as a lot of them do, to protect the pieces that are more likely to damage. I really love this version of her Fuku. I think most fans probably do compared to, I guess, sort of the uniformity that the super upgrade provides. The choice in the color of purple, I think, is pretty spot on. Glove seems a little wonky. I'll have to go back and look at that again because I don't really recall them being like that, but maybe that's artistic. The sleeves, of course, on this version of her outfit are really nice. She's got that sort of maroon mauve sort of a back bow. I love again, the pearlescent sort of shimmer that they use on the paint. Nice job with her hairstyle. There's a little bit of detail to it, so it's not just, straight, flat black. And probably hard to tell, but the center jewel in her tiara there and her earrings, as well as her choker, are all basically on point. So let's take a look at some of the pieces that she comes with here. So naturally her glaive is represented. This thing is huge. I can't actually believe how big this staff is. I mean, it's proportional to what it should be with the figure, but it's nice to see it there. And then sort of the base of it, you can see, has detail as well. This gives me high hopes for Pluto and how they'll do the garnet orb. And so we've got hands and faces here. They're all packaged together. The hands have the little spine stands, so it looks like this. She was the first one of the outers, so I'm thinking this is probably the first time they did this. One of my very helpful commenters pointed out when I did my Super Sailor Moon figure art review that was the first time I had seen the little spine things because I hadn't opened Saturn up yet. So they pointed out that these had been in the boxes for a little while. I like the faces that are represented for her. I mean, it's not like Saturn had a whole wide range of expressions. I'm going to take a moment here and put her stand together so that we can get a better look at it. They've kind of taped all this So the base plate for Saturn here has her symbol, her name, and despite it looking kind of pink, it really is more of a purple. A pinkish purple at that, but it follows the same basic style, the ribbons, the stars that the other stands have had. The arm tends to function in a couple of pieces, so we'll clip the claw portion on here and then attach the bottom to the base. Just that easy. Let's see if I can't find the combination of hands that work for actually holding her staff. I'm guessing they are these ones. So taking the pieces off, they feel pretty good on her. I know with the Chibi Moon, like I found that her hands were really delicate, and there was a warning, probably because the piece was so small. Saturn's got more of a satisfying pop when I take those off. So again, hand, just a firm pull, and it pops off. And then putting them on, you always have to line them up well to push and snap. Snap. And before I put the glaive in there, we might as well change out her faceplate too. The hair slides off almost a little too easily for my liking. Face isn't bad. Let's go with the open-mouthed expression here. Firmly push that all in place. I'm going to place her on the stand before I put the glaive in her arms, because otherwise I have a feeling that I will be fighting it. Let's see how easily that is. Not all that easy to go in. Let's try the other hand first. Not all that easy at all, to be honest. That's probably a little bit of a something I guess I should be aware of. There we go. Really, I mean, I think short of her, the only ones they'd done before that had to hold anything really in a firm grip was Sailor Moon. I guess Mercury had her computer, but that was it. This one hand does not really want to cooperate. There we go. But once it's in there, it looks pretty good. So that's the Saturn Figuart. Much like the rest of the Figuarts in the collection, I think she's well worth having if you're going to be doing them as a collection. If you're a Saturn fan, definitely worth having, especially because she's in her S version of her outfit. If you're only collecting characters you like and Saturn's not your favorite, again, you can probably skip it. She is one of the somewhat more affordable ones, unlike Uranus and Neptune. I like that the range of faces and hands and things with these are staying pretty consistent, so that, especially with hands, they could be switched out between characters. The stand is pretty solid. The character herself is really well represented. The pieces on her feel good. The joints feel good. The paint job is really nice. I don't have any complaints about how they did any of that. The hair connects to the face a little bit loose, but it does seem to stay pretty firmly in place once it's in there. So I would say that if you're a collector of the Figuarts or just a fan of Saturn, this one is well worth having. She is the taller version of Saturn as well, being from the S season, so I guess we'll have to see now that they're doing the super versions of characters if they're going to do a shorter Super S or Super Fugu version of Saturn when the time comes. So thanks for watching my video. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what your favorite character from Sailor Moon is. And you can also remember to find me on Twitter at Kait Collectible. Thanks!